Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to grecochess, the YouTube channel of chess. And after I showed you a few games where I was able to reach a rating of 1500 for bullet chess in chess.com, continuing now with a series of facing the chess.com bots. In this video, we are facing Arthur from Wales, and I'm having the black pieces. But once again, a brief review. Let's look at the screen. You see here on the right side of the page the various bots. We started the beginner bots. That was many months ago, almost a year ago. We finished all 15 of them, no problem at all. We defeated each one of them twice, once with white, once with black, no draws or losses. We went to the intermediate ones where we continued the first 5 ones, no problem. Emir, we won with the white, with the black, and needed 3 attempts to win. Continued finally, most of them easy, but a few of them with some difficulty. We finished all intermediates, then we go to the advanced ones. 3 ones had 1500 rating, 3 ones had 1600. Eventually, with some difficulty, we were able to defeat them. And now it's time for Arthur for Wales. With the white pieces, needed 2 attempts. Lost the first time, won the second. We'll continue, and if everything goes okay, I'm planning to complete all 20 of the advanced. Now this is the 7th one of Arthur. And if everything goes okay, then it's time for the Masters. Another 10 bots there. But let's see how far can we go, because we're reaching my rating. My rating, officially United States Chess Federation, is 1656. In chess.com, the highest category is 1800 with the Blitz. So we are near my rating, but usually these bots don't play so well as their rating would imply. But let's see what's going to happen with Arthur. And Arthur starts by saying, hello, let's see how good you can play. Let's see, Arthur, you were a challenge for me the first time. I needed 2 attempts to defeat you, but let's see. And Arthur starts with a d pawn, going to d4. I'm replying the symmetric way. d5. Pawn to c4, the queen's gambit, which I'm going to reject. Declined. Pawn to c6, the Slav. Knight to c3, my knight to f6. Currently, we're just developing our pieces. I go with the moves I know the best. Bishop to knight to f3. Let me place my bishop to g4. I hope the knight does not go to e5. Nope. Bishop to g5. Pushing my pawn. I know I'm pitting my knight, but queen goes to b3. I need to protect the b7 pawn. Pawn to b6. Let's send my bishop to f5 so the knight cannot easily attack it. I'm taking my pawn on d5, and we have to be careful. Don't use my knight et spin. Use my knight, I'm losing my queen. Oh, attacking my pawn. What should I do? Actually, I'm attacking my bishop with a pawn. If bishop goes to g6, am I in danger? Let's send it to g6 for now. And then I want to send my bishop to e7. Yes, to unpin my knight. Check. Have to be careful. If I place my knight on d7, knight, knight. What if the knight goes to b5? The problem is if I take it with my queen, I have either with the queen or with the king. With the king, I lose castling rights. With the queen, knight goes to b5 and threatens to go to c7. Okay, but with the queen, I think I can manage this danger. Let's castle now. Let me take the knight. It's more important than my bishop. The problem is if I send my bishop to e4, which I'm going to do it, pawn goes to f3. Anything better I can do? I don't think so. I got lucky. Pawn to f3 and they lost the bishop. Now I'm taking back the knight. Materially, we are the same. I'm a pawn down, yes, but that's not that important. Oh, my rook is under attack on a8, so I have to move my knight to d7. If I take the pawn, I open the g file. If I move it to g6, then queen can go to f6. Let's send my rook to c8 and use the pawn if it takes on g7 as a kind of a shield. Yes. Attack the queen. Oh no! Arthur with the black pieces defeated me, caught me careless from the opening. But if you look at the review, we have to play again. Really, we are reaching my limits. I played as if my rating was 1150 and Arthur 2000. Let's try again. We'll try again. Rematch. Let's play until I learn it. Again, just pawn to c6. And the first time I was way ahead at some point until I lost. Now I was behind from the very beginning. My bishop should not go to g5, queen goes to b3. No, my bishop will not make the same mistake. My c8 bishop will stay at c8. Castle early, not for the last moment. It was a big mistake. I was hoping that the g4 pawn would be a shield. It was anything other than a shield. Let's make sure we don't lose the bishop. Rook to c1. Send my pawn to b6 and attack the pawn at c5. Pawn goes back. Actually, not pawn, knight goes back. Be careful, I don't want any nonsense on h7. Pawn goes to h6 to stop it. Knight attacks on e5, but queen goes to defend it. Let's see if I have enough firepower now. Now I'm taking twice e5. Yes, there's a defense with a pawn to f4, but this opens the diagonal. The diagonal goes from a7 to g1. Let's attack the pawn on. Yes, now this comes with a check here. Queen checks from b6. I'm opening my lines. Oh, I have to be careful. Bishop attacks my queen, and where can my queen go to be safe? If I go here, no, bishop takes a pawn. It's not well defended. If my, no, let's send the queen to b7, but it's facing the bishop on g2. I lost the pawn. Wonderful. I lost the pawn now. What can we do? Attack the pawn on e2. No! The rook will take. No, attack the other pawn on b2. But then I'm going to lose this pawn. I think don't go well at all. Attack the rook on c6 with my bishop on b7. I think this is more promising. I'm a pawn down already. Double attack, wonderful. The only way I can save both of my pieces is if my bishop goes down to c8. Bishop defends knight. Let's start developing because I have less space all the time. Bishop attacks pawn on e2. Knight attacks bishop on c5. He's already 2 pawns ahead. Arthur is ahead by 2 pawns. And this pawn on c5 is a pass pawn, very dangerous. Can I stop it? I can get it, but is there a price? Fortunately, there is no back rank. Let's attack the pawn at a3. I'm down by 1 pawn only. Attack the bishop on h5. With my pawn has to retreat. I'm winning the pawn on a3, and now we equalize the pawns. I hope so, at least. Have to be careful because if I'm not careful, bishop will attack. What white will try to do is exert pressure on my bishop on a6 twice. And by doing so, I will either have to surrender the exchange or the bishop. So what I need to do is put the rook on a light colored square like the bishop. So if, for example, this bishop goes on this diagonal, I can put my bishop somewhere, for example, if it goes here somewhere where it can protect my rook. That's why I'm standing my rook here. Bishop is protected and protects now, so this trick will not work. Not only that, okay, here we are, protecting my pawn. If the bishop moves from f3, I win the pawn at a2. Now what I really need is patience. I should not start pushing the pawns. What will happen if I start pushing them? Better not push any pawns. My king cannot move. My bishop better stay here, in any case cannot move. Rook, if it goes to c2, we'll have rook to c7. Let's send the rook to e2. If we exchange pawns, bishop will attack this pawn here, and due to the pin, may win it. But if I don't take it, I'm in a nasty situation. If I don't take it, I lose it. Take will take me. If I take it, I have a problem with the pawn on e6. But if Arthur takes it, I'm taking the pawn on f2. Have the same number of pawns from 2 pawns down. I was able to equalize. A pawn structure and bet. I have one island and Arthur has two. So patience, king goes to e2. Rook back to b2. I need to be very patient. Arthur goes for the pawn on f1. And okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to attack the bishop. Once the bishop takes on e5. So if bishop must move, otherwise it's lost. And then I'm going to take this pawn here on e2 with a check. And then I have another pawn that's in danger. The only way to save it is if I move my pawn to d4 and then to d3, and I'm near. I messed up. I messed up once again. I lost my bishop. Things are becoming worse and worse. Third time, I'm not giving up. A brief review to see how poorly we did. It's not my day today. It's not my day. This happens. I played as if I had rating 2100 versus 2200 for Arthur. But I'm not giving up. Third time. Rematch. As many times as I need. It's going to be a long video today. Who knows how many times I'll need to defeat Arthur. Meantime, viewers, you can have some fun. Try to yourselves to beat Arthur if you can. Or any of the other bots. Stopping the dark colored bishop going to g5. Hoping to change the bishop. Yep, bishop is out. Queen is attacked. I might save the queen no matter what. But where? Maybe c7 is the best square. Develop my knight. But this blocks my bishop on c8. Can I safely push my pawn to e5? Yes, attack once the pawn, check with the knight. Throw the arrows. And defend it once the knight, once the queen, and once the rook. So I think I can safely push it to e5. If Arthur is not careful, I'm pinning. Yes, Arthur was not careful, so now I'm going to win a piece with a pin. Do you think I wasn't going to see that? Well, you didn't. But which is the best piece to take? If I take the knight, I open the king. If I take the bishop, at least I stop the queen from doing any nonsense here. Let's take the knight. No, then the queen can take it. Nothing to gain. Let's take the bishop, more important. Not to hit material. Let's exchange. Change and more exchanges. Oh, no tricks. I'm attacking the queen. Now I'm attacking the knight. Oh, the knight can go here. Let's attack the pawn on h4, and there is no trick, I hope. If the knight goes to g3, I'm attacking both the rook on f1 and the pawn on h4. But I got the rook. Wonderful. Now I'm taking two pawns, the h5 and the e3. Can I win at least one of them? Should I take the pawn or should I exchange the queen? Let's take the pawn to have it for sure. Third line. Now let's attack the knight on e5. It's too advanced, and I don't think he can damage me. Not exactly, but I cannot take it because of my bishop. But now, if my bishop goes to f5, I attack the queen, and if the queen moves, I win the knight. Can I do anything? Can check or e7, but it's lost. I win the queen, exchange the knights, and then I have two rooks versus one for the grand finale. But I have to be careful. If the rook by any chance goes to the 8th rank, the pawn can mate here. Of course, I'm not going to allow it. Let's occupy the open E file. Both my rooks are there in the only open file. Now, either exchange or I win the b2 pawn. Let's see what's going to be. I win the b2 pawn. Now, the rook has to go to the 3rd rank. If it goes to h5, I think it's mate or not. Now, either we exchange rooks or it goes to 2nd rank. We exchange. I win one more pawn. I'm going to win the a3 pawn. Third time is a charm. I think this time I'm going to win. I hope I don't stalemate by any chance. Let's win the other one on c5. Yep. And now let's start constraining the king. The pawns on f5 and g6 are blocked. They cannot promote. Let me bring my king near the white king, near Arthur's king. As we go, so we can also take these pawns just to be on the safe side. Since they cannot move either way or other, so they cannot protect from stalemate. Okay, now we are free. Rook and 7 pawns versus a lone king. And now we're going for the mate. So we'll send the king to the 2nd rank. To the 1st rank. It's only a matter of time. Oh no, king had to stay. Now it is really on the 1st rank with my rook being on the 2nd. I think two moves for mate. Let's see. Next move is mate. And bingo, the 3rd time, finally we defeated Arthur from Wales. Let's see the review. Finally, it stays so wonderful. The win went after all these losses. Hitting 9.5 versus 3.3, rating 2250 versus 2100 of Arthur. And we're not going to go through all the details since the video is going to be quite long. 3 games. I needed 3 attempts. I needed totally 5 attempts to defeat Arthur. Twice with the white pieces and 3 times the black. So really from now on the games, the bots will be very, very exciting and uncertain. But now that we finished with Arthur, what lies ahead? The next video, I'm going to take you to the daily tournaments, especially the annual one with 55,000. Who knows how many players participate? No, wrong. We are on the wrong screen. We have to go to my tournaments and the current ones. The 2026.com Daily Championship, where we started with 55,394 players, 5,374 are still there. Most first round games have been completed. I have advanced the second round. With some luck, I have to say, because especially with PB Pulkers, I was in a very bad shape both games, but PB Pulkers decided to withdraw. And 21 games remain, and there's a competition for the video. They say submit a video here. I'm going to take one of my games and make a video which I'm going to have it in my channel and share it with you, and also I'm going to submit it. That is what's going to be the next video if everything goes according to plan. For the meantime, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks to the viewers, the comments, the likes, the subscribers. I hope you had some nice laughter watching me lose my first 2 games, and I'm not going to hide my losses. If I'm losing, I'm going to show the games the same way I'm showing if I'm winning. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Greco Chess YouTube channel. I'm your host, Karilas Aniziris. Goodbye.